Hello everyone and welcome to day 15 where we're going to do the little betta fish. So we're going to start off with the sky first, and I'd like to say I hope everyone had a lovely Valentine's Day yesterday. So what I've done, I've moved my little advert up here so we know what we want, so I've got more room for my cue cards. Again, I'm going to talk through them, so they're going to be full length videos. I'm going to put my cue cards on screen, which gives you the option to either speed the video up via YouTube. If you do that, you've got the cue cards. If you follow along in real time, you can hear me talking. So it is entirely up to you which way you want to do it. So I am going to try and pull out a little bit. I need a little bit of room for the cue cards that's on there. So if I pull my fish over here a bit, so that I've got my working space, and pull it down. There we go. So let me get my lovely clear zoom focus on there. There we go. I'll give it one more click. There we go. Yes, apply. Okay, so this is our little friend here, and what I'm doing, I always take colours from the last one into the next one, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here. But I'm also going to add some colours in. So first of all, we are using light ultramarine. Hopefully I can fit there. And I'm starting off down here. Now this is the tip. I was telling you about my pencils yesterday. This is the tip that the tgaal sharpener gives you. So this is the difference. This is the tgaal and that tip, and you can go longer, so it gives you a really long tip if you go all the way to number 5. And obviously this is my M&R bullet one. That's the one it gives you for that. So both have really great normal sharpeners if you want to have them without buying the big crank sharpeners, and it gives you a gorgeous bite. Especially the tgaal is amazing for polychromos, because polychromos leads don't tend to file down very quickly when you're sharpening, because they're a hard oil-based pencil. So that is good food for thought. So I'm putting the light ultramarine in all the light areas of the sky along here, just in places where I feel it's going to pop out. And this is a lovely rough sky. So I wanted to bring in some really dark blues. I didn't want to bring greys in because I want it to stay bright, and it'll already bring that grey effect with the heavy grayscale that's on here anyway. So I didn't add any grey into my combinations. I've just gone with these 3 blues. So next up we've got ultramarine. Make sure it's in focus. And then we're going to bring ultramarine in all the next, like not the very darkest areas, but just in them lighter grey areas that you can see floating around at the back there. And there's some just coming in here. And just a nice little scumbling motion to work that colour in. So this is why I asked for the feedback, because I wanted to know if people wanted to hear me talk along, or they wanted a speed through colouring, or what they wanted. And a lot of people who watch my channel, I'm not saying that anybody else has to do it this way, this is just personally my feedback, but a lot was saying a mix. So I thought, well, the best way to do a mix is to basically record it real time, and then obviously put these cue cards up, so anyone that can speed it up can then do so at their own will, if you don't want to follow along in real time. So I think that was the best of both worlds, really, and the best that I could do, because I just thought I don't want to keep speeding through, because I like having that interaction with everybody as well. And even though there's no one talking back to me, I still feel like I'm having a conversation with you all. So for me, that's really good. It's just for everyone listening in here in my house, it's like mum's talking to herself again. So I'm coming in with Indian Throne Blue. This is our darkest of the colours. And we're going to come in and we're going to press on a little bit harder with this one. And then I'm going to add in where I need it to be added in, and it'll just give us this nice dark sky. There's not really a sunny day, but it's turning into a dark night sky, if that makes sense. And I'm keeping it quite a choppy, scribbly type effect, a shellarty, rough colouring as I call it, where I don't really put any rhythm to it. It's just basically just scruffy colouring. And as I go to the top part of the page, I'm just going to add, I'm knocking that out of vision. I'm just going to go dark as I'm going towards the top with just a bit more pressure. Really deepen that edge of the sky up there all the way along. But I can't believe we're at the halfway mark. Just a day over the halfway mark. We've done so well, yet we've all done it. We've not had a conversation. We have chats among ourselves in the actual chat that we're in, but we've never discussed what colours we're using in our videos or anything like that. We see them as we all put them on our channels, or we post the pictures in when we've finished. And I love how similar yet how different they all are, which I think is really, really good. But I think this is a combination of when you get three like-minded people together. And I think me, Tammy and Ashley are very similar like-minded people, and kind of bounce off each other, which is funny. Which I think is really nice to do when you're doing your body colours. You do want to be obviously have some kind of you what's the way of putting it? You're kind of drawn to them from the way they colour. That's what I do when I ask anyone to body colour with me. It's because I'm drawn into either what they're colouring or how they're colouring it, and I'll message and I'll be like, oh, do you want a body colour? So that's generally how I do my body colouring. So my question to you guys is, what makes you want to body colour with people? What is it that you look for when it comes to body colouring? Are you looking for inspiration from that person you're body colouring with? Do you feel that you're a similar colourist to that person? Things like that. What makes you want to body colour with somebody? That's my question of interaction for today. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to do the fish now. I'm going to do the fish and we're going to do the boat. In fact, I'm going to do the boat. I'll do the boat, I'll work my way down. So the boat is going to be this walnut brown colour. And then the rest of it is going to be different colours. I'm going to bring that, the whole bow of the boat here, so I'm not going into the view of the camera and you can't see anything. And he's drawn a little shadow of a person manning the boat there. And in each one of these I'm just going to pop a bit of shadow in with that. Okay, and then we're going to have greenish, olive green yellowish. Oh, and I've not even sharpened this one. I'll just stick it in with tgaal a second. And I'm just going to do on this top section here. And for the shadow, I'm just going to press on a little bit harder. I feel sometimes it's easier to just, when there's so little, is to just use the one pencil and use your blending technique to make it look like you've used a different colour. Same under here. Put a little bit of a shadow kind of where it bows in the middle there. And then next up is middle cadmium red. No idea if boats are like this. I'm assuming this is a Japanese type of boat or what you would see over there, because this is all Japanese themed by the looks of it. Which I didn't take note of when I actually was picking this page. It wasn't, I just picked the page that had the most, the easiest split up of colours, boxes, not colours. What we could split into 28 days, and this one was, you know, the one that was most even. And it happens to be one of Tammy's favourite subjects. So that's pretty cool that, you know, I end up picking something out that every one of us likes. So that's good. So that's them two. And then I'm going to bring out green gold for the little box at the end. Whatever that is at the end. Little hutty thing on the back. Got a little mast. I'm just going to press in for the shadow. Oh, so that's the boat done. I have no idea where my fish is going to turn out. So they're going to be, let's see, I'll just check what I'm doing for my seam. Yes, they're going to be my C. So I'm going to bring in this, and then that green, and then a light purple and dark purple, and we'll have some ultramarine in it. So it's going to be quite a strikingly bright fish. So first off, I'm going to come in with our lighter colours, which first off is cream. And it's going to be quite a multicoloured little betta fish. They're always quite brightly coloured anyway, these. I'm just not sure what colour I'm doing his body yet. So I'm hoping this will come out alright. So light cobalt. And I'm just going to flick. And I'm going to do quite spaced out flicking because we've got other colours to fit in here. And it's got another fin travelling at the back there. Okay, so that's them two. And then I'm going to go with my lightest, which is light magenta. And again, oops, oh no, I hope I've not been out of frame for the whole of that, it's just slid down. I'm flicking that in between. I'm going to stretch some of that out towards the end of the fin. It's going to be a right lovely coloured one, this. Then I'm going to add in some phthalo green. It's sliding, I don't know why, so I'm going to have to watch I don't go out of frame on there. If I've gone out of frame too much, I'm going to have to do my bigger one as a recolour. So then I'm just going to add in just little flecks of the phthalo green. And same on this side. And this is where I'm kind of incorporating the colours from the page before. So then we've got manganese violet. And add that in. I'm going to add quite a bit of this in because this will mix with some of the colours and create other colours. Oops, sorry. And then I'm going to come in with, which is this one, ultramarine. And I'm going to run along the base of his fin here. I kind of bring this out. I'm just going to get my tip going on this. Nice little fine tip. And then I'm going to bring that in to the rest of the colours. So I've let this ultramarine in. And so I'm just going to turn the page a little bit because I'm not getting a good angle on them flicks. I'll leave my ultramarine there. And then the same here around the edge of his tail. And just soften that out on a blend. And then I'm going to come in with Indenthrone Blue. And then I'm going to really deepen up this section here, and then we can have some shadows going on as well. Just flick in some of that Indenthrone Blue as well. What I'm trying to create with that is that when you see a fish and they've got that iridescent kind of look to the skin, I suppose, or fins when you pick them up, that's what I've gone for there. And then really darken that up along the top of him here. It's going to come back with cream a second and just flick that back towards the colours we've put in, and it should just lift them colours from underneath that we've used, and they'll kind of appear again. Same with here. Brings them back to life. And then I'm going to come down, so we've got Ultra Indenthrone Blue. So let me just finish that blend off with that. What we're going to do with this. A little, where all the shadows are. I'll sort his fin out in a second. And it's nice just to keep it, just trying to keep your pencil colours you're using in your box, a combination, so it blends a little bit better when you're not using as many pencils. And a little bit of ultramarine towards the back of his face. And then we've got light ultramarine to finish the rest of his body off. I'm not going to press on too hard because what I'm going to do here with my light phthalo green, I'm going to come in with that and I'm going to add some green to his body as well. Around his face, there's a little fin. And then in places I'm going to add light red violet. Just so we're bringing some of them casts of sugar, casts of colour out into his skin that we've used on his fins. So it's quite a bit of an luminous fish, isn't it? So I'll just put a bit of that in there too. So there's a bit of a, let's have a bit of ivory in. And hopefully this will be bright enough to give us some nice little highlights throughout here. Finish off these very end bits. Just come back with indents around below. Where's that one? I just want to blend top of the fish in a little bit better. Much better. So now we're finished with that and need the colours that I've just brought out. Where did they all go? I'll just double check it was these. I've mixed them up now. I got them out as a combo and then mixed them up. Yeah, that's right. So lastly I'm going to do the sea. And we're going to start off with light phthalo green. And I'm going to do similar to how I did this water here. And I'm just going to do kind of like zigzagged lines where the lighter areas are with this one, just so it picks up a bit of that green. And then I'm going to come in with phthalo. See that go? And then around that I'm just going to put little lines between the light phthalo. Oops, I went out the lines there. A bit eager beaver. And then we have cobalt turquoise. It's like a little painting actually today, isn't it? So in with that, really emphasising where I want this to go, so I'm pressing in quite hard. I want it to look like the water's choppy. So wherever that deep grayscale is where I'm going with my deep cobalt. It's not deep, it's just cobalt turquoise. And you get choppy sea effect like that. That's what I'm after. And hopefully he's standing out of the seawater. Or it might be a bit clashy actually. May should have gone for different colours, but hey, well, it's done now. It's quite clashy. Okay, so this little dude here, don't know what he is. I'm going to make him just look brown. I'm just going to add cream in. Make him cream. And then our walnut brown. Because I've no idea what he is. It looks like a little mouse to me. I'm just going to give him some brown markings. Like I said, I've no idea what it is. First I'm thinking, is it a naked man? I don't think it is. So I'm going all over in walnut. And where the shadows are, I'm just going to press in a little bit harder. In them areas. I think I've ruined him, but well, like I said, just a brown tiddy little mouse. I've no idea what else to call it. So there is day 15, everyone. And I wanted to do like a rainbow type betta fish. I'm just going to add in, I think, I'll just get the focus on here good. I'm going to get my white gel pen. My white Signo gel pen. And I'm going to do my little water type of dripping effect as though it's falling out the water. Like we did over here. And just do them dripping. Although it's like it's coming out the water, which helps me disguise the edge of it. I'm going to have some coming off the top of its body here. There's some coming off its little fin. And this little fin is coming over here, it's like bended over, so we'll have some coming off that, some white water drops. It's a good little effect to put on your fish, just to make them look like they're being pulled out of the water. And it helps it stand out as well. Just put his little eye in. There we go. So, yes, everyone, that is day 15. So, I think day 16 is the little ball here. I'm not too sure. So, I will see you on day 16. Bye, everyone.